Hello again. Solomon here from the Progressive West. I hope you guys don't mind the kind of just off the cuff, like unedited videos, but I think it's a step up from my laptop camera. I'm just using my phone. But just want to come on here because late last night I saw Marianne Williamson's post. She's officially suspended her campaign. She's out of the race. And like I said in my last video, that makes sense because she got like 3% in Nevada. Actually saw the results. So yeah, just a few thousand votes, and it's disappointing because I really hoped that more people would be looking into it. A lot of polling has shown that people want another option other than Biden, but the people that actually went out and voted, they want Biden apparently. So it is what it is, and I think going forward, I'm just trying to think about, maybe it's a little early to do this, but I'm thinking about the next time around. Because I think Williamson set a really good example for the kind of candidate that we should be looking for. And her campaign meant a lot to me, especially early on when I was watching those videos and interviews. I recommended some interviews to watch at the end of my video about her being the best candidate for animal rights. So if you want to check out some of those interviews, she talked a lot about how the Constitution says the requirements to be president are you have to be 35 years old, you have to have lived in the United States for at least 15 years, and you have to have been born here. And that's it. If the founders really wanted it to be just a political elite, they would have written in the Constitution you have to be a governor or a senator or a congressperson to be president. But they didn't. And they did that purposefully for a reason, because they knew that just because you're a governor or a senator doesn't mean you're necessarily the best person. And they wanted to leave it up to everybody to decide what qualifications count towards, which qualifications are necessary for our time and our place to be president. And so that leaves the door open for not just politicians, but scientists, scholars, philosophers, writers, artists, whoever we think at the time has the skill set. And Marianne Williamson had the skill set. Because you don't need to be someone that is an expert in public policy necessarily. It helps, but you don't need to be someone that's an expert in writing legislation to be president, because the role is to be a moral leader, is to be the one that directs the resources of the government towards where we need to go and get us on the right direction, and the bureaucracy of the government will take care of the rest. You have a ton of experts you can hire every expert in the world as a president. You can use those resources of people who are much smarter than you, and you can put them in the right places, in the right positions, in the right cabinet spots. And that's not what's happening. Right now, we have people filling cabinet positions that are just corporatists, people from the private sector, people with conflicts of interest, people that, under Trump, a guy that was associated with coal and oil running the EPA. So I do think it's better if it comes from somebody from the outside. Because Bernie Sanders, although he's an insider, undoubtedly, he's been in Congress for a really long time. He was the exception to the rule, that you can look back 40, 50 years and see all of the good stuff that he's been saying and see that he's still being consistent with it. And that's why you can say, oh, I trust this guy, because he's been in the belly of the beast and he's been fighting. But he literally is the exception. He's literally the exception to the rule. So I think next time around, we need to look for somebody that's got the skill set, has got the drive, and has the right motivation, right? Isn't taking any corporate money and understands these problems. And when I think about that, no one really comes to mind. Williamson herself came out of nowhere to me. Like, I didn't know who she was. Before that, I didn't read any of her books or anything like that. But so she just kind of popped out of the political ethers. And so it's possible that somebody else does that and kind of rises out of nowhere. But really, I think she could give it another go. The vibe I'm getting from her right now is that she needs to take some time to just internalize this experience, and take some time, and she'll be watching next time around, especially if Donald Trump messes everything up and wins again. But I think she could jump back in next time, but she could just as easily stay out. It's hard to say. So going forward, I guess just better luck next time. I'm proud to have supported her. I wish people had been paying closer attention. I was looking forward to voting for her in Colorado, but my state comes late in the primary process, so I might still vote for her. Probably not, I don't know. I guess I could skip the primary, right? Because the primary doesn't even matter at this point. And I'll just be deciding what I'm going to do for the general election. I do live in a sort of a swing state, so it kind of matters if I vote or not. But that's it for me for now. Williamson has officially dropped out, and God help us all. The Progressive West, signing off.